This is your sign to cut off those thin, straggly ends and bring your hair back to life with a fresh trim. So today I'll be showing you how to blow dry and trim your natural hair at home by yourself. I actually had quite a bit of damage and split ends, so let's get right into it. All right, everyone. So we're starting off with freshly washed and deep conditioned hair, of course. And this is what my hair is looking like fresh out of the shower. So for products, I'm using this Tresemme heat protectant. And I really like this one, but I somehow broke the nozzle on it. And it's a little bit of a struggle to use. So I'm also using this olive oil heat protectant serum by ORS. It's not necessary to use two types. This is just what I like to do. So to start off, you want to section your hair into some small sections and apply your heat protectant all over. So first, I use that Tresemme one and I really massage it into my hair. And then I take a very small amount of the ORS heat protectant. You really don't need a lot. Otherwise, your hair is going to look oily and greasy. So I work that into my hair as well. And then what I like to do is I just twist up that section and clip it out of my way. And I continue on with the rest of my hair. So I like to apply the heat protectant all over my hair first. That way I don't have to keep stopping and reapplying the heat protectant because that just annoys me so much. So I do it all at once. And then once I'm done, I can move on to blow drying. And please make sure you're not skipping this heat protectant step because we really don't want to be frying off our hair, okay? All right, so for my blow dryer, I'm using the Revlon Salon one-step paddle brush dryer. And let me tell you, this blow dryer is no joke. It's really great at getting your hair nice and smooth. So I'm just showing you here, there's different settings and I like to start with the high setting. And to begin, I use the tension method. So I'm pulling my hair with one hand to stretch it. And then I just hover the brush around my hair to blow dry it this way without actually brushing my hair. So I like to do this to stretch my hair a bit and get it mostly dry. And then afterwards, I go in with the low setting, and this is where I start using that brush. And always make sure to start at your ends and work your way up slowly towards your roots. And I notice even when you use the low setting on this dryer, the air is pretty hot and it low-key burns your hands. So just be careful, and within no time, you'll see your hair is all blown out and smooth. I just love this hairbrush so much. So here I could already see where I need to go in and trim my hair. So we're going to get into that a little bit later, but I like to blow dry my entire head first. So I'm just twisting up this section for now, and then we can move on to the next section. So again, I'm using the high heat setting and I'm hovering the brush around my hair while stretching it with the other hand. Like I mentioned, this hairbrush is intense and I don't like to actually brush my hair on the high setting. So then once it's mostly dry, I'll go in on the low setting to brush it out. And you can see there were a lot of straggly ends and knots in my hair. So I'm so glad we're taking care of this today. And if your sections are too big, don't be afraid to go in and split that section. Do not force the brush throughout your hair. Working in small sections and always starting from the ends is best, and then working your way up towards the roots. This way you're not ripping out your hair. And I like to make sure to get those ends nice and smooth to help me see where I need to trim my hair. So then I just repeated this all over my head, and as I got to the top of my hair, I actually started using the cool heat setting, which is just as strong as the high heat setting, but it's just cooler air. And I started doing this because, for one, it was getting really hot, but also because the front of my hair is a lot more damaged. So you guys will see in a second, the front of my hair has really thin ends, and I didn't want to use the high heat on there because it's already so damaged. So if your hair is really fragile like this too, then be sure to take your time and use the cool air setting or the low setting. Like you can see just how short and damaged the front is. Oh my gosh, guys, this is the result of doing back-to-back small box braids. My edges really broke off last year, so this is something I'm hoping to fix this year with my hair care routine. And if you're interested in joining me in my hair growth challenge this year, then be sure to check out my previous video because we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. All right, now here I'm just taking out my twist so I can see what my hair is looking like. And I was actually so happy because my hair has grown so much since I last cut it in February 2024. You guys can see the difference, especially in the back of my hair, but we have some straggly ends that we need to take care of. So let's move on to the trim. All right, so trimming your hair yourself is actually not too hard and it's pretty easy to learn. So the first thing you'll need is a good pair of sharp scissors that you only use for your hair, not the random scissors you have laying around your house. And then we're going to comb out a small section with a wide tooth comb to make sure it's all smooth and detangled. Then all you need to do is slide your fingers down your hair like this, and you can see where the ends start to thin out, and you can also feel those knots. and that's exactly where you need to cut. So then you'll just line up the scissors against your fingers like this and snip off those ends. And then we can continue on to the next section. So again, comb out the hair with a wide tooth comb, working in small sections, and just sort of sandwich your hair between your fingers like this. And you can see exactly where the ends are thinning out and knotted. Then you'll just line the scissors up against your fingers and snip those ends off. Now, it can be a bit of a struggle getting your hands in the right position, so just try out different angles to get your hair and fingers in a comfortable position for you. Then once I'm done with a section, I just twist it up and continue on with the rest of my hair. And I know, guys, it can be a little scary to cut your hair in general, but when you have split ends and damage like this, you have to let it go. Trust me, it'll make such a huge difference. Once you get rid of those split ends, you'll be able to detangle your hair better. You won't be fighting with knots, and your hair will look fuller and healthier. Also, if you don't cut off all those split ends, the damage will just travel up your hair shaft, and eventually your entire hair strands are going to be thin and break off. So those split ends have got to go. Also, when you're trimming your hair, do your best to make sure it looks even. I did this by looking at my hair at different angles and going back in to trim certain sections as needed. And here I could already start to see the difference in my hair at this point. My twists were looking a lot more neat and the ends weren't so thin, and I probably could have trimmed a little bit more, to be honest, but I didn't want to get too scissor happy. I know my trim isn't perfect, but I think I still did a pretty good job. I think it's definitely a good idea to go to a professional if you can, but honestly, some of us don't have the money to go to the salon, or we just don't want to. So learning to do it yourself is always a good idea. So just take your time and snip away all of those split ends, and before you know it, you'll be done. And here I am taking down my twist just so I can see the final result. And I absolutely love the way it came out. There's a little unevenness, but I really don't mind it too much. And I think you can really see the difference from before. Those straggly ends are gone and my ends look so much better. It's so much more crisp. So that's it for today, everyone. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you will try blow drying and trimming your hair at home yourself. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.